Yes, once again, rice is just finished. This is brown rice with enough vitamin on it. Not white rice because I don't like white rice. It's not good at all. There's no vitamin on it. It's just pure white flour. But this is brown rice. Very, very healthy. Homegrown, as I said. It got delivered with a special jet, Sierra Leone Airways from Tumabong via Poloko. You don't know. Now look at the palava sauce. It's cool, calculated. It's no longer pata 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 pata. No, you see, it's cool down. Not too much palm oil, just enough. Not pepper. And now we in the dish it, you're saying I'm eating cassava leaf, brown rice and cassava leaf, and no animals because it's all beans in here. You are come up before me. Yeah, where the cassava leaf, where it is going into their bone marrows, they start speaking those English. English to increase, you know. Of course, I will not invite Queen Elizabeth to this dinner because for far too long they've been tormentors of my people, and they still don't even have the courtesy to say sorry because Africans were the professional expatriate in rice growing. And in those yesteryears during that dubious genocidal so-called transatlantic slave trade, Africans were transported as experts. The dubious things they were doing, they will actually advertise it. I think I found one in my archives, I will find it. This enslaved is from Sierra Leone, and they were going for very high prices, like how they twist and turn basketball today. Yeah, rice growers. If you go to North Carolina, South Carolina, those places, the Gola people, those are, they sing the Piers element, you know. Yeah, those have stories that we don't say. You know, most of the crops and vegetations that you see of the Caribbean, they were uprooted in most of Africa and brought over for continuity because this was gold, this was oil, this was diamond, rice. And this is from where all the white rum, those cowboys we are fighting. You see those very misrepresented, insulting so called Indian movies where they misrepresent and misappropriate native origin and indigenous people using white faces being painted behind so-called red Indians. Yeah, we did a lot of that in Hollywood about African people. You know, most of those very insulting movies. But anyway, so these are the palaver sauce. And I know in most of our African world, I went to Jamaica, Guyana, most of the Caribbean I traveled. This thing is for goats. They don't even know about cassava leaf. But I recall when I went to Guyana for Emancipation Day, I went to a cassava garden, I harvested, and I did a palatable cassava dish with some dry fish. Ah, my Guyanese brothers, they yum it. You know, I know my Rasta guys will like this, but this is vegetarian. You know what I mean? Mashalak McTyson, my Nubian queen, my general manager, born of Canada, roots from Jamaica to Africa. She loves this one. And even my, you know, my madam love cassava leaf. Anyways, which is a fine chef, you know. But look at this. So these are the things we talk about when you eat home. Enough pepper, my friend. Even the tropical white weather. You know, I sweat when I'm walking in the snow because of the palatability of cassava leaf. So Prime Minister Trudeau, just to wrap up, the thing is cool. I'm going to put it now in a nice dish to keep it warm for our tomorrow in-person conversation over round table with social distancing, of course. And we've made a special made in Africa face mask that when the spoon of, you know, the best way to actually enjoy cassava leaf is to use your natural hand. But you know what? It's DIRTY because the hands does a lot of things. See? A lot of things, brother. Let me don't talk it over the food. You know what I mean? The hand is a filter thing. It's a filter thing. It's very useful. It's a very filter thing. You know? Like you go now to all these grocery stores and rest, you see the amount of cleaning. You know, simple hygiene is awake and alive. Simple hygiene. Corona have shown the white backside reality of dirty, greedy human beings of our world. The inequalities, the exploitation, the ugliness of our world. We hope after Corona, things are not going to be the same. Changes are coming. With Joe Biden in place and Kamala Harris, with the likes of Trudeau, and I'm quite sure they can work together. You know how long Donald Trump police was tormenting my blackface prime minister? But you know, God bless the prime minister, Christian Freeland. Excellent, excellent lady. I will not forget her. She can make a fine PM after, you know. She's a fine lady. She's a fine lady. I'm telling you, she's a fine lady. You know, yeah. So that's it. And I'll be inviting Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to a palatable vegetarian cassava leaf with love coming from yours truly, Dr. Shokomoyo Kokofele Kuruma to the double. Yes, a qualified, distinguished comedian, apolitical, an unapologetic Pan-Africanist. Because once you are Peter Tosh. Long live. Okay? Until we get into the congregation of the House of Not So Common, where the uncommon law, uncommon people's hope and aspiration. Until that, I say, Allah, stay blessed, stay well, and let's fight together to make our world a better place. We can defeat Corona. But don't be a denialist. Let's uphold and do the proper thing, but let's also be very critical of any vaccination that comes. Let us make sure that whatever vaccination is distributed is taken by the pharmaceutical industry themselves and make sure it is the same thing. Oh, speaking on that, please, we hope Corona is exposed these so-called marshy ships that goes around Africa and third world nations doing so-called emergency operations. You know what it takes for operations to take place and the after visitations, and these people just go around stealing organs from people and then saying they are doing operations for people. How dare you? That's so unethical. Speaking of unethicalness, doctors have lost it. A good number of doctors are in bed with insurance companies filthily, unethical and unprofessional. They are rubbish in people's life. And we hope governments that are in bed with these insurance institutions can regulate in the interests of the ordinary people. Of course, there are good few advocate legal minds and community advocacy groups that work, but most of these so-called wicked gown so-called barristers and solicitors are also in bed, and of course with their in-house so-called investigators that are criminals using internet services today, cell phones and other, to even look when people are letting go in their little shithole companies. So when you're going to those places, put up your phone. When even you're in bed, put up your phone, because they are tormentors of life. Bon appetit. Pondu for my Congolesa. Saki Tomboy. Kayoka. Casada leaf. You are my Casada leaf. If you come with that song. That lady was talking about a different cassava leaf. It's a natural high cassava leaf, the one that makes the bottom head of cuckoo head men go kukuli. Guess who is calling to come for dinner? The Pope. And I'm saying no. Somebody was writing some Western newspaper trying to say because Joe Biden is Catholic, he said, don't bring that religious nonsense on the table. You know the blood that is on Catholic priests rubbishing people across and all these religious bangastas be it Arabs. And look at people, you see Africans who say, oh, my name is Arabic name. Who told you? Those are all confused names. Who told you if my name is Jacobo, I am not a godly person in Allah's house? Just like how the so-called Christianity purport that you have to be giving Christian names. It's the same nonsense the Arab people did. They were part of, in fact, they were the original slave takers, enslaving our people because Africans were kind. They are all confused. Same thing now, we allow Chinese to come and build mosques and churches. They don't go to church or mosques. They have their heaven made here after years of riding bicycles. We were driving BMW, Land Rovers in Africa, when even there are no spare parts. We have to change. Every deal, tractors, buses that Africans buy from these people, there should be an undertaking. The spare parts will be available unlimited. And allow them to come and assemble the damn thing in the country, if not manufacture it. Or go to the Nigerian car manufacturing industry and have them supply. Did we say there is African free trade? Then there's going to be enough of brown rice coming from Kenya, from all these places, and cassava leaf from areas that do not eat cassava leaf, potato leaf, and all of these things. And Jamaica, the Caribbean, looking forward to have that same dubious sea route, the transatlantic slave trade. We utilize it, own it. Get a flight from Barbados to Ghana, which will be less than 5 hours. Could you imagine not going through London, not going through Brussels, not going through Paris, not going through New York, direct from Barbados or from Jamaica or from Guyana to Africa with love. The untapped wealth of doing business within ourselves, knowing self. Could you imagine Lagos alone, the big city of Lagos, where nobody sleeps, 20 million plus, double the whole Caribbean population? Just imagine what ganja from Jamaica can do. A lot of money. And all those pastors and African government, instead of taking IMF loans and World Bank grow outside tropical ganja. Now that is legalized, and sell it to make roads, build hospitals, and a tropical disease control center, for goodness sake, and a children's hospital. You know what I mean? Don't tell me it's sick children. Children's hospital. Do we have sick adults hospital? Change that name. But anyways, enough of my ranting. It's 12 minutes, almost 13 minutes. I'll leave it at 13. That's a lucky number. Don't tell me 13 is not